5. Alright, what's going on? My name is Ari, the Healing Empress, aka the Fly Goddess. Alright, and we're going to get into a personal read. Alright, and see what's going on. And let's see what cards I'm going to start with. Alright, we're going to ask about this movie. Alright, we're going to ask. I'm being heard on YouTube. So hold on, let me check it. Make sure. All right. All right. Okay, that's working. Okay, so let's get back to the question. All right, so you want to know about this movie. All right, and if it is a good move. All right, Spirit. Let's see what's going on. All right, a new beginning. An Ice King. So it's like there can be some sort of, I guess, being cautious. All right, but there's a new beginning here: love, emotional clarity, and spiritual awakening. All right, let's see. All right, rich guy. So whatever. So this is something abundant. All right, it's not anything draining. All right, completion, fulfillment, wholeness, integration. It's not anything draining. Yeah, wisdom, objectivity, sharpness, discernment, independent, boss. So it doesn't sound like codependency. All right, it's opportunities here. It's learning opportunities here as well. Exploration, focus. All right, and practicality. All right, so you'll be able to explore a lot of new things with this person. All right, bliss. All right, so no, this sounds like a wonderful move. All right, progress, expansion, growth, foresight, and partnership, wisdom, objectivity, sharpness, discernment, and independence. All right, so I'm hearing don't overthink, because once you overthink, it kind of gets in the way of your intuition. All right, so you're making the right decision. When something doesn't feel right, you don't do it. All right, you have the ability to see more than you think that you do. All right, action, adventure, passion, impulsiveness, risk taking. All right, maybe you could have been wondering if you were moving too fast or something. All right, self love is here. All right, 6 people, 7 people watching, and 0 likes. All right, 7 stalking. All right, manifestations is here. So something that you manifest is coming into fruition for you. All right, divinity is here. This is a personal read. If you are wanting a read, please let me know. All right, let's see. So that is a good move. I'm going to read a little on that using the other cards, but I'm going to use the other new cards as well. So let's start. Where is the... Let's see. Okay, yeah, we're going to use the I Ching deck first. All right. So we got feeling trapped, oppression, mountains, stillness, illumination, and modest humility. All right. So somebody could have not wanted you to move on. Somebody wanted your life to be in a standstill. All right. Somebody wanted your life to be in a standstill. Damn, that card flew out. All right, but it's something that you did, small actions. All right, taming, small progress. So small actions and small progress. You worked on yourself a little bit at a time. All right, and when you were ready, you move forward. Feminine energy, receptive support. All right, you could have a lot of feminine ancestors around you at this time. All right, return, rebirth, renewal. You're getting ready to something's getting ready to happen. All right, something new, grace, beauty, and refinement. I just feel like something's getting ready to be made simple for you. Inner truth and deep intuition. All right, so you could be feeling like something is getting ready to happen, but you can't quite put your finger on it. All right, modest humility. All right, holding together, unity and alliance. All right, hold on one second. Let's see. Look something up real quick. Um, okay. Okay. All right. So yeah, you're not boastful. You're not. I want to say like you're not flashy. Return, renewal, rebirth. Something's getting ready to return, and it could be very well be a love life. All right, fun, attraction is here, so it could definitely have something to do with your love life. All right, a lot of times when people are trying to attack your finances, they attack your love life too. All right, and that sounds like what was going on. Great strength, great power is here. All right, modest and humility is here again. So it's like you're like super humble no matter what the fuck is going on. So it's like somebody wanted to get you out of your element. All right, stand still, energy block. They wanted you to get you out of your element so that you will move differently. All right, innocence, pure intentions is here, and heavy burdens. These people wanted to place heavy burdens on you, all right, so that you wouldn't be able to manifest love or money or anything else in your life. Obstruction, they wanted to block your path, all right, but you moved away from these people. You no longer are dealing with these people, all right, spiritual source. You're more connected to God, all right, and God is leading you. You are listening to them voices and feeling them nudges. All right, self control, and you learn how to have self control. You learn how to watch what you say, when you need to say it. Careful steps, yeah. Taking your time, like not even going back and forth with a motherfucker for real. Okay, but getting your point across and letting it go. Let's see. All right, what's going on within this family spirit? All right, all blockages have been removed, so whatever the fuck it is that they're trying to do, they ain't gonna be able to do it. All right, a big change is getting ready to happen. Bank accounts will be filled. Whatever this change is, it has something to do with finances. Somebody's calling even though you don't want to talk. So this could be somebody that's giving you a call that you haven't talked to in a while, maybe. Or the last time you talked to them, it wasn't a really good conversation. At least for them, it wasn't. All right, this person could be missing you. Something's getting ready to change when it comes to your career. All right, let's see. Psychic abilities. There's something about your spiritual sense. All right, Taurus talks about resources. So it's like I feel like you're calling something in. All right, and that's and that's crazy because that is falling right up under bank accounts will be filled. All right, and somebody is calling you. Now, who is this person calling you? All right, this is somebody who is not cricket because it was in reverse. All right, in reverse again. All right, so you could have thought that this person wasn't for you, or this person wasn't doing something. All right, this person was dealing with childhood traumas. I don't know. Somebody had to heal. Somebody had to heal. All right, and then you got will and trust. Will and trust. New love is here. All right, so this person had to heal, and now this person I feel like is coming in for love. All right, let's see here. Spirits is here. All right, so spirit team is all over this relationship. Something about an uncle. All right, what's going on with this uncle? Why is this uncle? Uncle on your father's side could be significant. All right, money is coming in. All right, so giving money back. So uncle could have stole something. All right, moving. Somebody move. It says moving in with you has secret plans. And so somebody's moving in with you ASAP. So we were just talking about that. All right, but you're getting ready to receive some money. You're getting ready to receive some money. Your aunt, a great aunt could be significant. Maggie could be significant. All right, so Maggie and Johnny popped out. It doesn't have to be those names, but an aunt and an uncle, an aunt or a great aunt could be significant, and an uncle. All right, house of your dreams. Somebody could have stole some property. All right, these people want to give you an apology. All right, a fake apology, unexpected gain. All right, spirit getting ready to give you your flowers. All right, you don't have to wait on anybody else. Somebody loves only you. Money is coming in. There's so much shit happening. There's so many people going to jail. Jail time popped out. And you're leaving. You could be moving. Depending on whatever this is that you're receiving, you're probably not going to want to stay where you are. Miracles. You got miracles coming your way. All right? So if it's enough money to pay off wherever you are and haul ass and go somewhere far, you're probably going to do that. Taurus and Gemini is here. Right? And you got Judge. All right, male fertility, potential, energy, harmony, approval, unity, new beginnings. All right, pregnancy. I'm hearing a lot of, like just things growing, businesses. It's just a lot of everything is growing. Nothing is like dying. All right, but the people who came against you, they're losing a lot. They're losing money. But these are the things that you're gaining. These are the things that they wanted for you. All right, new life is starting. Are you ready to relocate? And relocate came out again in trust fund, baby. Like I said, even though you may be stationary to where you are now, you may want to leave and go somewhere farther. All right, fairy tale is here. So something is getting ready to happen that's going to seem sort of unreal. All right, temperance. Something's going to balance something out. Somebody's not letting you get away. All right, so, and I feel like if you make a decision to go somewhere, that somebody else will go with you. All right? Now, uncle. There's an uncle here scared of something. All right? I don't know what's going on with this uncle. I got a fight. All right, so these people could be arguing when it comes to something that belongs to you. Somebody found out that children aren't theirs. So I feel like it's a lot of people getting karma around you. A lot of people are getting karma. Let's see. A lot of people are on drugs. All right. Those secrets are coming out, stole from you. These are the people that helped. It's like, pay attention who's sick and who's doing down bad right now. All right. Anybody, especially like, you can see it in spirit. Like, how they act and shit, but like pay attention to like people who are sick and can't hide it. All right, because spirit is revealing so many things right now. All right, to those people, there's a divine union that's coming together. Great happiness is here. All right, so you finna walk into a happy season. All right, where there ain't no fake people. All right, this is a real relationship. All right, let's see. That relationship keep coming out. I keep trying to pull out other stuff. Spirit say, no, let's talk about this relationship. Okay, Spirit say, let's talk about this relationship. Let's do a card. Please. All right, let's see. All right, illusions versus reality. Emotional attachment. An attachment may be clouding your judgment. All right, so it could be somebody, it could be a friend. All right, Virginia is significant 757. All right, it could have been a friend who was clouding some sort of judgment. All right, or I'm hearing pay attention to who you are surrounding yourself with. All right, because that could also cloud your judgment. All right, illusion versus reality. Wanting it badly doesn't make it right. All right, so somebody around you could be wanting something for you, but that doesn't mean that it's right. So be careful of the emotional attachments that you are connected to, and those are simply just friends, family members. All right, listen to that inner voice. Lower the outside noise to hear yourself clearly. All right, listen to your inner knowing. Listen to your inner knowing. All right, again, inner knowing. Listen to that inner voice. Came out again. So spirit really wants you to listen to yourself. All right, you're not crazy. Okay. Protection, boundaries, and powers. All right. Protect your energy. Not every space deserves your access. So, not every space deserves your access. All right. Red flags. Again, pay attention to the red flags. Somebody's wearing a mask. All right. Somebody or someone is not showing their true face. All right. And this could be the fact that somebody's not ready to be open and talk about something. It doesn't mean that this person has to be horrible. All right, but still pay attention. Body check. All right, your body can sense when. Like your body can sense what your mind is trying to justify. So, like when you be around people and then you be feeling all antsy and shit, and nervous, like real heavy, your heart rate changes. Those are the people that you need to get the fuck from immediately. All right, discernment is a gift. Your ability to sense the truth is sacred. All right, protection, boundaries, and power. I'm telling you, when you get that all you hear is bitch leave, bitch leave, bitch leave. That's all I hear. Like when your spirit tell you to get the fuck on, you better listen. That shit can save your life. Stop seeking permission. You do not need approval to honor what you feel. All right, inner knowing. Return to self. Come back. That's my comeback. Come back to your center before choosing. All right, so come back to your center before choosing. Let's see. Yeah, you don't need anybody's approval to what you feel or whatever. Do what you feel because it's your body. All right, your mind, your soul, inner knowing. Let's see. Inner knowing. So it's like spirit has been nudging you a lot. You've been getting a lot of signs and synchronicities, all right? Don't overthink. Too much overthinking, all right? Too much analyzing can drown out your intuition. All right, rose colored lens. You are softening the truth to keep a dream alive. Don't do that. All right, say whatever it is that needs to be said. Never hold back because you're going to regret it later. Yeah, listen to the inner voice. All right, on the, when you lower the outside. All right, so that you can hear yourself clearly. Let's see. Then we got a line choice here. The path honors who you are becoming. All right, the path honors who you are becoming. So it's almost like you can see what is going on when it comes to your spiritual being. All right, your mental. You know that you're doing right because of the paths that are being placed in front of you. Things are working smoothly. Things are just like falling into place for you. So you're gonna start to see all of that too. That's how you know you are on the right path when things are not a struggle, when things are easy. All right, let's see. All right. Luxury energy, high value living, quality, and premium pricing. All right. So you're going to get an increase. The way that you spend is getting ready to be different. All right. But pay attention to money links. Money links. All right. Resources are being drained. So just be careful of the people that you have around you. All right. Because there is a major career shift that's getting ready to happen. All right. A change in a professional direction. And Spirit wants you to use your your discernment, all right, and listen to your guts. Trust your gut, all right, and your intuition because they know, all right. You're being underpaid. You're being undervalued, all right. So walk away from those people who make you feel as such because God's getting ready to bless you. There is a second chance of an old opportunity that is coming your way. All right. And it has something to do with success, abundance, and alignment. And it's divine timing. All right. It was something that you could have been denied for in the past. But Spirit's saying now is the time. You got some sort of offer or opportunity coming to you. All right. There's a door that's opening. A new opportunity is available. All right. So you're getting ready to move forward in a situation. All right. Going from overworked and burnt out and imbalanced to overbooked and finance increase. All right. Something's changing with your job, career, or workplace energy. All right. Some sort of promotion is pending. All right. Recognition, elevations are near. So something's gonna get better. It has something to do with contracts, agreements, and business deals. Counter offer. Ask for a better term. All right. So whatever you've been giving, or whatever you're getting ready to receive, you have the ability to ask for a better term. All right. To negotiate. All right. Binding agreements. A commitment that carries weight. All right. So whatever this is something good. All right. This is going to put you where you need to be financially. Wealth builder, long term money and stability. So long term money and stability is here. All right. You could have had a slow money financial growth, which was steady but not instant. All right, in the past, but again, things are getting ready to speed up. A major offer with a high reward and potential is here. And then you have a line, yes. All right, so there's an opportunity coming in for you that has everything to do with money and financial flow. All right, paid in full, completion, payout, a financial closure, something that you're going to be signing. But be clear of the terms, all right, so that there's no confusion of what's going on when you get ready to sign this contract or whatever this paperwork is. All right, let's see. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. I'll read those last. All right. House of Hearts, belonging, desired, yearning, and emotional pull. Someone may miss you, think about you often, or feel like something's unfinished when it comes to their emotions. This can also reflect on your own desires for a connection. All right. Longing can become a trap if you are waiting on someone who is not moving. All right. And the affirmation that you can say is, I release what cannot meet me. All right. I release what cannot meet me. Let's see. Oh, that's too many. Let's see. All right. And the oath is here. Promise, vow, and spoken commitment. Someone may be making a promise, expressing devotion, and entering a more serious level of commitment. All right. Empty promises empty promises, broken vows, or words that are not backed by action. All right, is what this person is avoiding. This person is coming in with a promise. All right, trust, commitments. Trust. Oh, okay. So the affirmation that you can speak is I trust commitments that are proven constantly. I trust commitments that are proven constantly. All right. So it's like without somebody saying, you can see it in the actions. You can see it in their actions. All right. The betrayal is here. Disloyalty, dishonesty, and emotional injury. This card can represent cheating or lying or disloyal or broken trust. Someone is acting behind your back, refusing to face the truth, excusing repeated harm, all right, or causing repeated harm, betraying yourself to keep someone, all right. I release what has shown me it cannot be trusted. All right. I release what has shown me it cannot be trusted. All right. And that's how you move on um past the past. All right. And keep it there. Always pay attention to the signs, but new love is definitely here. All right. And these are the last cards here. All right. Divine protection. I am protected by an ancient force and I'm sorry, it says, I am protected by ancient forces, seen and unseen, spiritual protection, ancestral covering, divine shielding. You are not alone. Makes me think about that Michael Jackson song, You Are Not Alone. All right, what is meant to harm you cannot overpower you. What is assigned to you to guard you? Okay, so somebody, if anybody sent you, it don't matter what nobody sent you, because of the ancestral power that you got, whatever they try to send towards you, it's gonna be demolished. All right, no matter what it is. So it's like absolutely nothing that nobody can do. All right, divine inheritance. I am worthy of the blessings written into my lineage. All right, and this has everything to do with blessings, abundance, favor, gifts, sacred opportunities belonging to you. You are not disconnected from what was promised to your bloodline. Receive what is yours without guilt. No survivor's remorse, none of that shit. All right. You earned this. You had to go through so much shit in order to get into this place. Temple priestess. I trust the sacred wisdom within me. Trust yourself. Your intuition is not random, it is sacred intelligence. This card calls you to trust your inner knowing, your spiritual gifts, your vision, and your discernment. All right, because you be on point way more than you know. All right, and then we have divine. What is this? Divine reclamation. All right, a reclaim every part. I reclaim every part of myself with power and grace. I reclaim all of my power. Oh, damn, I read that shit wrong. I reclaim every part of myself with power and grace. All right. I reclaim every part of myself with power and grace. And that has everything to do with restoration. All right. Calling back all of your energy, all of your power, reclaiming stolen confidence, remembering your identity, remembering who the fuck you is. All right, not letting people do you any type of way because you know who you are. All right, stepping back into your rightful power. All right, nothing true to you is ever lost forever. Meaning, if it's yours, it'll never go. It may go astray, but what's meant for you will always be for you. Sometimes you have to apart from people, places, and things in order to learn something. Some separations are permanent, and some are not. All right. And the last card is activation. I am a living key of divine life and sacred power. All right, this card talks about a major activation. All right, the Ankh represents life forces. All right, spiritual authority, sacred breath, and divine access. When this card appears, spiritual awakening. There's a spiritual awakening going on. All right. And then it says energy upgrade, powerful rebirth. Your spirit carries ancient wisdom. All right, so your spirit carries ancient knowledge. And this is why you keep getting these heavy downloads. All right, and that's what this is. All right, your ancestors are trying to speak with you. A lot more than often. The sun child, I was born to rise and shine and be seen. This is about confidence, visibility, purpose, joy, success. You were meant to not hide your gifts. Let yourself be witnessed fully. So Spirit is asking you to tap in. All right, Sunchild came out again. Spirit is asking you to tap in. All right, and then things you're gonna start to see things just miraculously happen for you. All right, the golden throne. I sit boldly in the power that belongs to me. Reclaim your seat, boundaries, self-respect, authority, standards, and no longer shrinking for others. And that is your read. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you later.